As you may recall from the last vid, y'all know that I absolutely love the film Bridget Jones' Diary. But what about its sequel? Well, at first I've been mixed on it. After rewatching it, it's kind of gotten a little better now. So here it is. This is my review of Bridget Jones' The Edge of Reason. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2004 rom-com Bridget Jones, The Edge of Reason. Released by Universal along with Miramax and the as well as Studio Canal and produced by Working Title. Now, of course, Universal actually releases in the US while United International Pictures handled its international distribution, except for France, which was Mars Distribution. Film was directed by Beeben Kidron from a screenplay by Andrew Davies, Helen Fielding, Richard Curtis, and Anne Brooks. This, of course, is the second installment in the Bridget Jones film series and sequel to Bridget Jones' Diary, based on Fielding's 1999 novel of the same name. Renee Zellweger, Hugh Grant, Colin Firth, Jim Broadbent, and Gemma Jones all reprise their roles from the previous film, plus a few others. If you have not seen my re-review of the first Bridget Jones film, which is done much better than my original review, you can click on that card there, and you can see it in case you might miss it, or if you'd like to see it again. I thank y'all for making this do pretty good and what have you. Thank you. Okay, now then. The film was released on November 12, 2004 in the UK and the US after making its premiere a couple weeks prior at the State Theater. And then the following month in December, which is December from its UK and US release, France got it. However, unlike its predecessor, this wasn't as well received as its predecessor, but I can understand. Bridget Jones is ecstatic about her new relationship with Mark Darcy. However, her confidence is shared when she meets Mark's assistant, the beautiful, slim, quick-witted Rebecca Gillies. At her job on the morning TV show Sebrin, Bridget crosses paths with her ex-boyfriend Daniel Cleaver and is offered a position alongside him in a new travel series. Initially refusing, she declares Daniel is a deceitful, sexist, disgusting specimen of humanity, but eventually signs on despite her friend's misgivings. Bridget is delighted when Mark invites her to his law council dinner, believing he will propose afterwards. However, a series of mishaps make the evening a debacle, excuse me, culminating in the team trivia quiz. Bridget makes a critical error on a question about Madonna, which Rebecca wins, leaving Bridget thoroughly deflated. After the dinner, Bridget and Mark argue and she stomps off. He goes to her apartment, apologizes, and for the first time tells her that he loves her. Later that night, he invites her on a ski holiday in Lech, Austria. On the slopes, Bridget learns Rebecca is also there with a few other colleagues. She has a pregnancy scare, but after an argument over the upbringing and education of their hypothetical future children, the pregnancy test proves negative. Returning home, Bridget and Mark attend a lunch with their parents, where Bridget is hurt by Mark's dismissal of their prospective marriage. Overhearing a message from Rebecca on Mark's answering machine, Bridget dissects it with her friends, who advise her to confront him. She does, and he refuses to dignify the question with an answer. And she breaks up with him. She travels to Thailand with Shaza and Daniel to film The Smooth Guide. She and Daniel visit several exotic locations, and after Bridget accidentally consumes psilocybin mushrooms, they flirtily reconnect. But her trust in him dissipates again when a Thai prostitute he ordered appears, and she realizes he has not changed. Shaza has a fling with the much younger Jed, who gives her a fertility snake bowl as a gift to take back to England, which ends up in Bridget's bag. When security dogs at the airport detect a large stash of cocaine inside, Bridget is arrested and locked up in a Thai prison cell with almost 50 Thai female inmates. Feeling low and scared, but glad at the friendliness of the inmates, she shares relationship advice with the others and teaches them to sing and dance to Madonna's Like a Virgin. Alright, now for the final act and ending. You know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below. As I count down now, if you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Mark comes to tell Bridget that her release is imminent. After confirming Jed as the true perpetrator and that she spent the night with Daniel, he declares her sex life does not interest him. Bridget does not correct his presumption, and he departs, leaving her sure he no longer loves her. Back in London, Mark confronts Daniel for abandoning Bridget in Thailand, and they fight outside an art gallery in Kensington Gardens. Daniel swears her off for good and says, "If you're so obsessed with Bridget Jones, why don't you just marry her?" Bridget arrives at Heathrow Airport as an international human rights celebrity, greeted by her parents, who have been busy planning their vow renewal ceremony. At home, Bridget is surprised when her friends tell her that Mark personally tracked down the drug trafficker, Jed, secured his custody and extradition, and forced him to admit her innocence. Hopeful that Mark still loves her, Bridget rushes to his house, finding Rebecca there. She assumes she is romantically involved with him, but Rebecca confesses her feelings for Bridget and kisses her. Though flattered, she politely turns her down. Bridget confronts Mark at his legal chambers, asking him to give her another chance. He proposes and she accepts. Her parents renew their vows, and Bridget catches the bouquet. End of story. So, what did I think of Bridget Jones' The Edge of Reason? Well, this film's fine and what have you, but it's not quite close to as good as its predecessor, though. It still has a few flaws. It has some flaws though, but it's kind of factually feels like you're seeing the first one again and what have you. But well, in sort of factual ways, but there are some new things to explore and what have you. But it's a good continuation to the story. Upon its release, it did pretty well. Despite being dissed by critics, it went on to make $265 million worldwide against its $40 to $50 million budget. The film was voted Evening Standard Reader's Film of 2004 and was in the shortlist for the Orange Film of the Year award at the British Academy Film Awards. Zellweger gained a Golden Globe nomination and the People's Choice Award for as Favorite Leading Lady of 2005. Rotten Tomatoes has this way low on their tomato meter at a mere 26%, saying Edge of Reason is a predictable continuation to the Bridget Jones story with too much slapstick and silliness. Well, yeah, that's factually true. Yes, it does, but I still like some of those funny moments and what have you. But some of it kind of made you feel like you see in the first film all over again, in a way, but not 110% though. Metacritic was mixed on it though, with 44 out of 100 score. While audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average B plus, just like its predecessor. Sure, it actually does feel like you're seeing the first film all over again, but different though, with different things you can encounter. Excuse me, everyone. Still, I must admit, it proves to have some pretty fun moments, if I have you. I mean, as much as I like the fight scene between both Mark and Daniel and what have you, as I completely forgot to point out because of it having a little musical number because in the first film they had a cover of the Weather Girls song "It's Rain Men," which was done by former Spice Girl Jerry Halliwell. While this one had a song that recently got me to like the British hard rocking band The Darkness, which of course was their song, I believe, in a thing called Love. Oh my gosh, this was absolutely very good. I think that was one of the things I did like in that film. But it had been a long time since I last saw this film. I mean, I didn't quite enjoy this one too much like the first film. Sure, it does have a ton of silly slapstick moments, but still, I still say it was just fine and what have you. Maybe not quite as good as the first one, but it still has its moments. However, oh well. Anyway, now Harry Gregson Williams does the score for the film, which is exceptionally really good. And also, it has a soundtrack as well, which believe me has some pretty good songs and what have you. Yep. Anyway, this was just so wow. But even so, I feel like this film does have a pretty good soundtrack though, and a good score. Our cast, we have Renee Zellweger back as Bridget Jones. She's still good as before, just like last time. Hugh Grant still pretty good as Daniel Cleaver. Colin Firth really gave one of his a good performance as Mark Darcy. I mean, after recently starring a year prior in the extremely underrated, well, chick flick, well, for younger ladies, that was Wild Girl Once with Amanda Bynes, which I said came out the previous year in 2003, which I loved that movie. Jim Broadbent once again plays Bridget's dad, Mr. Colin Jones, and Gemma Jones plays Mum, Miss Pamela Jones. We have Jacinda Barrett as Rebecca. Now, I actually say, of course, Broadbent and Jones were good, just like last time. Barrett, I'm not saying wasn't too bad as Rebecca. Let's see, we have James Callis, Shirley Henderson, and Sally Phillips back on board as Tom, Jude, and Shazza. I gotta say, they're all pretty good and what have you, and I had a lot of fun with them. Anyway, there's a host of others and what have you. Most of them I'm really not familiar with, but nevertheless, Bridget Jones: The Edge of Reason, while it does have its moments, but in flaws, but still, it's a decent sequel. They would give a better redemption with the third film, Bridget Jones' Baby. Unfortunately, that wouldn't get released until 12 years later. A very long wait and what have you. But overall, Bridget Jones: The Edge of Reason is a decent sequel, not as good as its predecessor, but it that tries to do its extreme best. I mean, the story's not too bad, but I do like the characters and cast just like before, and its soundtrack and score's pretty good too. So overall, it's pretty decent enough. I mean, if you really want some crazy moments and what have you, I mean, it's much more than what you got from the first film. So would I recommend Bridget Jones: The Edge of Reason? Well, I'd say give it a one-time watch if you are a hardcore completionist, if you're a big fan of the Bridget Jones films. Anyway, and I will review Bridget Jones' Baby later on next week. So now we are just less than a week away from the new film, Bridget Jones' Man About the Boy, which I'm looking forward to. So, what did you think of Bridget Jones: The Edge of Reason? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow, make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel. Give them to know me. Maybe they'd like to be a part of my Big D Nation. Share my vids with your friends if you like. And join me next time when I bring to you my Saturday morning TV log on skatebirds. So if you like this, check out my reviews for these other rom-coms. I will go ahead and give some ones that have involved a few wangs and what have you. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the film Shotgun Wing with J Lo. In the upper right-hand corner is my review of Bride Wars, Anne Hathaway and Kate Hudson. Very underrated film. I know I got hated on, but I love that film anyway. Or you can go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my recent mini reviews video, which features a mini review on the new Prime Video film called You're Cordially Invited, which this also includes my mini reviews on Saturday Night and My Old Ass. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.